Hi everybody, and good evening to you all. Thanks for being here and spending a little time with us on this Thursday the 7th, another hot one in eastern Kentucky. We've got more of the same, but we are still holding on to what looks to be a significant cool down early next week, Tuesday into your Wednesday. Things are going to change. We're talking about 70s, maybe upper 60s even for a few days on end. We'll talk to you more about those big changes coming our way in just a few moments. The heat and these conditions that we've been in for days, well, they're going to continue throughout the Mother's Day weekend, mind you, but Tuesday, Wednesday, like I said, more details in just a few moments. I spent some time today in Johnson County. The arrest of an individual there is still pending after serious drug and theft related charges are being levied against him at this hour and a little bit later on down the road. I'll explain more in just a few moments, but a man who some described off camera as being a thorn in the side of many throughout the community for many years is being sought after by authorities at this time. That and other local headlines to come in just a few moments. A couple of things before we get to news closer to home, and that comes from elsewhere, including our state's capital. Governor Beshear has today signed House Bill 340. We've mentioned it briefly before, but ceremoniously signing today. He did so in an effort, he says, to give Kentucky a strong advantage when competing with other states for outside film projects. Yes, this comes of great interest to me and glad to see it. The governor says that increased film production in Kentucky means a boost to local economies and an opportunity to highlight the bluegrass state on both big and small screens across the world. He says that doing so today will give Kentucky a more competitive edge in attracting film and television productions, and thus that will, of course, go a long way, he says, to create jobs, generate revenue in the form of taxes and other monies, and promote tourism in the bluegrass state. Jane Beshear, the First Lady of Kentucky, also chimed in with some other information saying that these incentives will help create a heightened interest for both local and outside filmmakers to seek out Kentucky as a premier filming destination, for which we've seen it used on multiple occasions on the big screen and the small screen and in between. She says she looks forward to the many new exciting projects that will come about as a result of House Bill 340. It will in part increase the existing income tax credit from the 20% to a 30% amount for each production. Each production's Kentucky-based spending, mind you, all the monies that are spent in Kentucky for that particular production, and also productions in enhanced incentive counties, those are yet to be named, may qualify for an additional 5% on top of that, and productions may also get a 5% incentive for using Kentucky resident labor, using our people to fill those jobs. Feature films and television shows lowered from $500,000 to $250,000. That's the spending thresholds that determine if a production qualifies for incentives. Thresholds for commercials were also cut in half from $200,000 down to $100,000. Documentaries were also lowered significantly from $50,000 to meet that threshold to $20,000, with Kentucky-based companies, mind you, only having to meet a $10,000 threshold. And speaking of money matters, $7.5 million, actually just a few thousand underneath that, is the amount of a grant that will eventually be coming to eastern Kentucky. About $1.6 million initially, and the rest to come later, and all that money is coming to help those who, of course, have been hit the hardest by the massive losses to our coal industry. The U.S. Labor Department today announced a grant at about $7.5 million, just shy of that, a national emergency grant. It will go to offer training and employment services that will prepare workers for jobs in other high-paying fields. U.S. Secretary of Labor Thomas Perez said, quote, "Recent changes in the energy economy have had a profound impact on Appalachian families and communities that have been sustained historically by the coal industry for generations. These grants were awarded today and will help workers affected by these changes identify new opportunities, also get new jobs, and have a brighter future as a result. The grant will fund employment and training services, basic skills training to provide math and language instruction needed to go on to those higher levels of training and or new employment, certification and licensing training to obtain certifications that you will need to pursue a new career, and also job-related skills as well." Now, headlines and announcements a little closer to home. I got a couple of things that just came across the desk. got time to tell you more about it soon, but I just received word from Curry Howard down at Licking Valley RECC. I say down, West Liberty's not necessarily down, just a habit. The 2015 annual meeting in Malone has been set for not this Friday, but next, May the 15th. They'll have free energy-saving light bulbs for everyone, free food, and a lot of entertainment for adults and the kids. I got a long list and itinerary, and I'll be sharing that with you very soon, but wanted to go ahead and get it out there now. That is Friday, May the 15th, 1 week from tomorrow. Keep that in mind. With that said, also, I had a viewer call and just left a message, and I've been on the road all day, just literally coming into the studio in time to put the show together. But I do have a viewer reporting to me that a new scam has been circulating that they are aware of, and I believe they've also heard of it being something that others have dealt with as well. But individuals in the viewing area receiving phone calls that are said to be from their electric company, and they're told that the company wants to winterize their homes now way ahead of the winter season to help them save on utility bills, but in the end they are asking for money up front. I'll make some calls, pin down some more information on that, but for now just a word of caution. And of course that should go along with any phone call that you or I or anyone else receives that has anyone requesting money up front for anything, whether it's a prize or a service or anything of that nature or in between. And of course keep me in mind anytime that you have a phone call like that. Be sure and share it with us so we can share it with everyone else, including the authorities. Tell you what, local headlines will begin next. A man is being sought in Johnson County. The Sheriff's Department tells us why. Stay tuned. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. A convicted felon facing charges related to the theft of an ATV and methamphetamine and more is being sought after by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department tonight after a tip led the department to his home on Rush Fork Road in Johnson County in the Whitensville area. A search warrant executed at a residence rented and occupied by a Justin Combs, a residence that sits on Rush Fork Road off of 23 in Whitensville in Johnson County. Terry Tussey of the Johnson County Sheriff's Department says that he's a suspect that is very familiar to authorities.
The person we're looking for is Justin Combs. He's had many run-ins with law enforcement throughout the years.
As for Combs, I spoke to a few people in the community today who described him as a thorn in the side of a lot of residents, and not just in McGill County. Police records indicate that he has had multiple county felony charges and convictions, trafficking in a controlled substance, most of them centered around theft. Johnson, Floyd, and other county convictions, and it has been confirmed that he is currently on probation. Deputies are trying to ascertain at this hour exactly how much time he had left on probation and what time he is facing should he be convicted of these charges. Charges which will include those related to the theft of an ATV as well as the possession of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, possibly some precursors, and other items which were taken from the residence.
I received a call from the owner of the buggy, Roger Van Hoos, and he stated that approximately 2 days ago this buggy was stolen from his residence. He put it on Facebook that the buggy was stolen. He started getting calls from people around in the area, and they said that they seen the buggy coming up 993 and said it was Justin Combs that stole it. I met him down the road. He told me where Justin lived at. I came up here, and upon my arrival and coming up to the top of this hill, there was the buggy sitting right in front of the residence. We went and obtained a search warrant for the residence, and inside we obtained possible methamphetamines, drug paraphernalia.
Combs was not at home at the time of the execution of the search warrant. The Johnson County Sheriff's Department is asking the viewing public for assistance in his whereabouts. He is already being charged as warrants were being obtained for his arrest shortly after this interview for receiving stolen property. The drug and other charges are to be presented before a Johnson County grand jury, and those charges will also include another charge of being a persistent felony offender. And there will also be charges filed against him for damaging the ATV. It had a bright red finish with flames, and those had been removed for the past 2 days that he had had the machine in his possession since it was stolen. The flames had been peeled off, and black spray paint had been sprayed over the vehicle, causing, I'm sure, a significant amount of repairs to be needed. Other headlines in a few moments. Another reminder that the Big Sandy Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program is currently seeking volunteers to serve as certified ombudsman volunteers, an advocate for residents of nursing homes, personal care homes, and family care homes. And in addition to visiting those facilities on a regular basis, that person would also strive to provide information and resolve complaints on behalf of residents, all in all working to become a vital component in the program and providing a very worthwhile and life important service to those residents. If you have any questions about becoming a volunteer, call 1-800-737-2723. I said it yesterday, but I will have that announcement forwarded on over to our calendar as we run it periodically for these folks from time to time. Just didn't get it typed in today. What I did get typed in before we come back to other headlines in a few moments is a host of birthdays this Thursday the 7th. Brought to you by my Golf and Farm Bureau and your local agent, Doug Green. Let's see, birthday wishes begin. Actually, this came in yesterday, and I didn't get it on in time, but a happy belated birthday now. A 30th birthday wish, nonetheless, to Daniel Perkins with a whole lot of love and best wishes from your family and friends. Happy 30th and a day to you, Daniel. Happy 60th birthday to Shirley Puckett from your family and friends as well. They hope you've had an extra special day. Shirley, 60. Actually, I cut you a good deal there. Happy 69th birthday to Shirley Puckett. Happy birthday, Shirley, from all your family and friends. Happy belated birthday, it says, to Lynn Blackburn. It was yesterday. Love, Tanya and Trenton. They hope you as well have had a very special day. And lastly, I've got a birthday wish that came in, and it says, happy birthday, Morgan Adams, 21st. Love, Mom, Dad, family, and friends. So I hope that means 21st birthday, and then I wasn't supposed to hold this till the 21st. Hope I got that right, Morgan. Regardless, happy birthday from all your family and friends. Happy birthday, Morgan Adams. And just a couple of reminders on tonight's calendar. Remember the folks at the Fritz Church of God this Friday, that is tomorrow. They've got a dinner starting at 6 and an auction starting at 7. They hope that you'll join them. They've got a big day planned, a big dinner, soup bean dinner, hamburgers, hot dogs, and more. All the proceeds go to their children's program. And the Gullet family reunion is still set for this Saturday at 11 in the Ramey Park in Sagersville. Please bring a covered dish with you, and bring yourself and, of course, all the Gullet relatives for their family reunion. Saturday at 11 at the Joy Shelter in the Ramey Park. That is over behind the swimming pool and between the pool and ball fields. And anytime you've got a birthday or anniversary, we do them for free. Always have, always will. Great service. We're glad to do it because we just like birthdays and anniversaries. And, of course, we'll also tell everyone about your churches or organizations' calendar announcement if you send it to us. Mail, phone, fax, email, Facebook, drop it off, what have you. And remember, you can always catch Your News Today the following day on yournewstoday.com. Past programming staying on for several days thereafter, so be sure that you never miss a show and you're never out of the loop as far as what's happening in our viewing area. For funeral service announcements tonight, we'll begin with services to be held in honor of 82-year-old Clyde Wireman of Gunlock, who passed away at his home on this past Sunday, preceded in death by his wife, Vida. He's survived by sons Clyde and Ivan, and also brothers Claude, Haroldine, and Russell, and sisters Ermelie, Charlene, and Cashetta. Visitation will be Thursday at 1. Services are to be at the Living Word Pentecostal Church at Gunlock. Visitation will continue this evening at the church. And services for 76-year-old Anita Back Arnett of Watertown, Tennessee are to be held after she passed away on the 29th. She was preceded in death by her husband Walter Marcus Arnett. She's survived by son Ronald Arnett, stepson Marcus Lynn Arnett, daughters Sharon Taylor, Sheila Wims, Carolyn Heiner, and a stepdaughter, Sandy Allen. A memorial service is to be held here in Sagersville this Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church.
Hey guys, Jason Weffenstedt, sales manager at the all-new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky. Where, as you can tell behind me, we're just weeks away from opening our brand new dealership, and we want to invite everybody down to take a test drive and be entered to win a free vacation package from Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky.
They're only weeks away from their grand opening, but they're open for business today. So come in and get entered for a vacation package to be given away at the brand new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville. 297-5066. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. My calendar in front of me is correct. Next Thursday, 1 week from today, will mark 1 month that the three-judge panel of the Kentucky Court of Appeals heard arguments and statements on behalf of attorneys who were representing, of course, those who have cases before them as it pertains to the Magoffin County Judge Executives race. I haven't mentioned it in a few days, but today, just as I have been each and every day, I have followed up with sources that we do have available, and still nothing new to report on that matter. Still no indication as to any time frame when we may have a possible ruling, but just a reminder that we are staying on top of it for you. We've had a great deal of calls and question about that matter, and still nothing new to report, but we will keep you posted. Last night in the program, I mentioned briefly that there was an accident involving a small child, just to let everyone know that it was a situation that fortunately resulted in little or no injury, and that about the same time I was relaying that information to you, there had been the report of another small child being injured on a bicycle, and it was my assumption last night that that child was not seriously injured, just based on an assumption of listening to radio traffic at the time of the incident. However, it would be shortly after Andrew's ball game began in Raymond Park last night that I would realize that that indeed was not the case. Just a little update on behalf of a member of Andrew's team and a young boy who has made an impression on a lot of his teammates, as he was seriously injured in a bicycle accident last night. Coaches, his team, and that of the opposing took to the field last night before a rookie league game to say a prayer and keep in their thoughts Grayson Peters. Just as I was sitting down to do the show with you folks last evening, there was a call to the Sangersville Fire Department. A boy, a small child, around the age of 10 or so was what the call came in. I'm not sure of his actual age, but been injured in a bicycle accident, serious enough to, we obviously knew based on the radio traffic and 911 call, to need medical attention. And I didn't hear anything thereafter. It turns out after seeing the coaches and teams take to the mound last night, and just a few moments later, I was informed that indeed young Grayson was seriously injured. As good as, if not the best hitter on the Royals team, of which Andrew plays, he was greatly missed last night, but more so for the fact that his team was hoping that he will recover. He suffered a serious accident while riding his bicycle and striking a tree stump, I am told, and he had to have surgery earlier this morning. I spoke with his mother via social media earlier, and she said he did have surgery this morning in Cabell Huntington. He was taken there after being taken to an area hospital first. He did have a fever of 103, making matters a bit worse, I am told, but we just wanted to make mention of the fact that he was in our thoughts and prayers as well, hoping for a safe recovery and a return to the ball field and home very soon. And we'll put the lid on tonight's broadcast, as we most often do with your Licking Valley RECC forecast. It does have us in the 80s again tomorrow, after the upper 80s, and I think a few folks got in on 90 degrees today, as I did here in the newsroom. Yeah, very light wind. I think 2 miles per hour to the east right now, not doing much to cool things down. We will see a low of 58 degrees tonight. Calm wind, partly cloudy skies on your Thursday. And here we are already in the blink of an eye, gearing up for another weekend. And it will start, maybe for some of you, hopefully so, not for me, on tomorrow, with a little patchy fog in the morning. But otherwise, your Friday looking mostly sunny and a high in the upper 80s again, upper 50s for nighttime lows. No precipitation to speak of. Partly cloudy skies to finish things off Friday night, more calm wind, and more patchy fog rolling in late tomorrow night as well. That will stick around up until the a.m. on Saturday, around 9 a.m. or so. The sun will come out, quickly burn it off, and we'll see the mid-80s again, mostly sunny. The low Saturday night is going to inch up into the 60s, around 63, maybe 64 degrees for nighttime lows. Partly cloudy skies late. No precipitation in the forecast for the first half of your weekend. Sunday is, well, there's some rain chances that keep creeping up every day. And for the updated forecast at this hour, if you're watching this show, not on the internet necessarily, but if you're watching this show via Foothills or Howard's, well, 40% chance of showers now is what we've got in the forecast. Maybe even a thunderstorm or two, and maybe even early on Mother's Day, possibly after 11 or so, that chance of showers and thunderstorms will pretty much hang tough. Now, a chance thereof, not a washout, mind you, but a chance of on throughout the day, Sunday, Sunday night, and Monday, partly sunny skies. Even though we got some big changes coming, they don't really take hold on Monday. Those showers and storms possible are not part of a cold front that's coming through. 85 on your Monday, followed by closer to 75 on your Tuesday. We'll still see some sun and still see a chance of some showers and storms, albeit a lesser chance at 30%. It is temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday that will certainly draw your eye. We're talking about 71, mostly sunny on your Wednesday, and I've got 72 on your Thursday as well. Some folks might get in on the upper 60s, and we've got a few days maybe thereafter that we'll also see some cooler and comfortable conditions. It's been a nice hit of summer, but I think a lot of folks are ready to say goodbye to it already and get back to spring. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to you just for now. We hope to see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the show. Could not do it without you. Good night.